Hey everybody, today we are ranking the draft archetypes for Final Fantasy on MTG Arena, and we're going to rank them based on not only the power level of the archetype, but also how easy it is to get into in the draft. So a great example is our first deck, which is the blue-white artifacts deck. This is a harder deck to get into, but it ends up being really powerful. I don't believe that this deck I don't believe you get into this deck starting with the signpost uncommons. This is really, you're taking the white aura site, you're taking other artifact producing cards or artifact creatures themselves, and then you get past late some of these white blue cards. Then it could be really powerful. But if you're starting with the signpost uncommon and now you are taking subpar cards just to get into artifacts, I think you're doing yourself a disservice. So is it powerful? Yes, but is it easy to get into? I don't think so. I'm going to put it in the C tier for now, and we'll see how that changes over the course of this ranking. One of the decks that has the opposite problem is the Dimir, the blue-black control/graveyard theme. This is a deck full of good cards. They do sometimes have a graveyard bent, specifically on some of the black cards, a lot of surveilling going on. So it's a deck chock full of good cards. You're usually in black for the removal, for the treachery, the Sephiroth's intervention, for the overkill, and then you pick up some really good blue cards and away you go. This is a deck, the archetype is not super strong in that you have to be 100% locked in. It is a pile of good cards, and for that I will move it up here to the B tier. Black-red is an aggro deck based around wizards. Wizards is a creature type that you can make a token. It's an 0/1 token, but it deals 1 damage every time you play a non-creature spell. Having one of them on the battlefield is okay. Having 2 of them on a battlefield is a game plan, and having 3 or more on the battlefield is just game over most times for your opponents, right? It's a very aggro-centric deck, really pushing forward with early creatures and then using the non-creature spells in that 3 to 4 converted mana cost area to kind of push through and finish the deck off. This is also a powerful deck. I'll put it in B. Red-green landfall is the next one up. This is the Chocobo deck. This is the deck where you're playing early creatures. They are getting pumped up by playing your lands out there. Rydia is a great card. It is a rummager, so you're discarding a card and then drawing a card. Good way to filter through the deck. I think it's a powerful archetype. I think it's a great archetype. It's an easier archetype for newer players because you're rooting for either a land drop or a creature when you're drawing off the top of your deck. So no matter what card is on top of your deck, you're happy either way. I'll go ahead and put this in the A tier. The green-white strategy is a go-wide strategy. By that meaning it's a token-based strategy where you're looking to put more creatures on the battlefield than your opponent could theoretically block, even though your opponent would win most of those blocks. Is it a great strategy? I don't know. I don't find a lot of success with it. It's not the kind of strategy that I would like to go for. I'm going to go ahead and rank it lower, but please tell me in the comments below if you think it's a great strategy. If there's things that I'm missing that make it a little bit better, please let me know. The next is the white-black deck, which is built on sacrifice, whether it's artifacts or creatures. It does have a little bit of token making because that is more fodder for the sacrifice effects. Usually, again, you're in black because of the removal, and then you take white cards, and you might have some like white flyers, black removal. You're in white-black kind of accidentally. If you're all in on sacrifice, you have to make sure that you're getting both the enablers and the payoffs. It is a little bit harder. This is a deck that is powerful, but because it is harder to draft, I am going to move it down to the C tier just so that it's kind of in line with what we're ranking here. Next is one of my favorite decks. This is the Blue-Red Mages deck. This is the 4 mana CMC, converted mana cost, non-creature spells deck. This deck is a little bit harder to get into. That's why it's not going to go up in the S tier. It's probably a step down. This deck is usually you're in red for the removal at common, like Suplex, and or even uncommon like Thunder Magic and Fire Magic. These cards get you into red, and then you get a couple of nice blue cards, and all of a sudden you're in blue-red. I would love to rank it S tier. I think in power level it's S tier. I think in fun it's S tier, but I do have to leave it here at A tier because I've drafted, and if you've been to any of the videos on the channel, you know I've drafted decks where I thought I was going to definitely be in this archetype. I cut red really hard. The blue cards just didn't flow to me, and so it makes it a little bit of a hard deck to draft. Is it worth it? Yeah, sure. It's a fun deck, and I recommend everybody try it in this set. But I'm going to leave it here at the A tier. Next up is Green-Black, which is a graveyard value deck. This is kind of a mid-range deck that uses the cards and the card types that are in the graveyard to just give you that extra bit of value, whether it's recursion, whether it's triggered effects that trigger based on the number of cards in the graveyard. Because of the black in the deck, you do have access to a lot of really good removal. The green usually gives you bigger creatures, and then away you go. So again, another really good deck. I'm going to leave this in the A tier. Archetype red, white equipment could also be talked about as kind of mono white equipment. I don't find that the red is really strong in this archetype. You will have the red for removal, like the before mentioned Suplex at common, but the white equipment seems to be performing a lot better than the red equipment. So this is usually a heavy white deck with a splash of red. It's not one of my favorites. I do think that it can be very aggressive, but the red mages equipment, the job select equipment in red, where you have to play another artifact in order to get +2/+0 on the turn, not something that I really want to be doing in an aggressive deck. So I'm going to go ahead and rank this a C deck. I think it's powerful, but not something that I'm looking to draft. And the last color combination is blue-green. Again, this is also kind of a monocolor deck. This is really a green deck that splashes blue for some cards that you pick up, maybe some flyers, maybe some late game bombs to end the game. But this is primarily a green-based deck, and it does have a town synergy, and so you can pick up towns and splash other cards. So you could easily have a 3-color, 4-color deck, but it has to be based in green. It's a little bit harder because you're going to have to use early picks on towns and then hope that the payoffs come through. And just because of that, I do have to rank it lower on the list. I am going to go ahead and put it in the D tier. It's not something that I've had success with. I know that it can be powerful when you have the great cards like Omega here, but getting into it is just very tough. And if you are mainly in green, the splash possibilities of black for removal or red for some of the big landfall creatures just kind of take away from the blue experience there for green-blue. So I do have to rank it a little bit lower. So there you go. These are my top 3 picks. This is the red-green landfall deck, the green-black graveyard value deck, and the red-blue mages deck, the 4 converted mana cost non-creature spells deck. These are the decks that you can not guarantee, obviously anything happens in the draft, but these are the decks that you are looking to get into. And so when you are making those first couple of picks, if you are prioritizing red as a color, if you're prioritizing green as a color, these will lead you to these archetypes that generally, speaking, perform better, and that might lead you to more wins. So please let me know in the comments below if you disagree with some of the rankings, if you would have some other color pairs up at the top. I would love to have that discussion. Again, this is just my view. I don't think any of the decks are undraftable. I just think that some of these decks are easier to draft than others. I have a full playlist of Final Fantasy drafts that you could check out if you like this content, and give us a like and a subscribe and leave a comment and let us know what you think about these archetypes and what other kind of content you'd like to see from the channel. Thank you, everybody.